The story begins with a sudden and unexpected event that ripples across the galaxy. A distress signal unlike any before is detected from a remote, uncharted region of space. This signal, coded in a complex encryption that takes hours to decipher, originates from an alien civilization that is in grave peril. The message is a desperate plea for help, a classic SOS. But embedded within it are warnings of a catastrophic threat, one that could ripple outward and impact not just their system, but neighboring star systems as well. The Galactic Council, a coalition of various species and governments tasked with maintaining peace and order in the galaxy, immediately convenes an emergency meeting to discuss the legitimacy and implications of this SOS. Some representatives are skeptical. The galaxy is no stranger to false alarms or traps set by pirates or factions seeking to manipulate interstellar politics. Yet the data coming from the signal's source shows signs of genuine devastation. Massive radiation spikes, disrupted communication satellites, and planetary distress readings. Amid this uncertainty, a murmur spreads among the council members, and across the galactic networks, the legendary Deathworlders have taken notice. The Deathworlders are a feared species native to a notoriously harsh planet, a death world where survival means mastering combat, endurance, and cunning. Their home planet is a crucible of life and death, where only the strongest endure. Over centuries, they have built a reputation as brutal warriors, capable of withstanding extreme environments and overwhelming odds. Yet despite their fearsome reputation, the Deathworlders remain politically and militarily independent from the Galactic Council and many of its member states. The Council's top intelligence officers report that the Deathworlder Command Council has begun unusual mobilization efforts, activating fleets and summoning elite forces. No official statement is released, but their actions speak volumes. Rumors fly. Why would the Deathworlders, known for isolation and brutal independence, intervene in a distant alien crisis? Is this a genuine act of aid, or is something more strategic at play? The narrative then shifts to a Deathworlder command council chamber, where hardened leaders and warlords debate the mysterious SOS. Unlike other factions that see the situation as a political problem, the Deathworlders view it through the lens of survival and warfare. They assess the threat with cold calculation. The alien SOS signals an enemy that could destabilize the galaxy's balance of power, one that even they might have to confront. The Council's decision is swift but enigmatic. The Deathworlders will deploy an elite fleet to investigate and respond to the SOS. The fleet is composed of their most seasoned warriors, battle-hardened captains, and cutting-edge warships forged in the crucible of their death world. Yet their true intentions remain shrouded in mystery. Some believe it's purely a rescue mission. Others fear the Deathworlders might use the SOS as an excuse to expand their influence or test new weapons. As the Deathworlder fleet prepares to launch, tension builds across the galaxy. Allied fleets from other species watch with wary eyes. The stakes are high. If the Deathworlders succeed in containing the threat, they will gain unprecedented political leverage. But if they fail, or have ulterior motives, it could ignite a wider conflict. The first part ends on a note of suspense and uncertainty. The mysterious SOS is not just a call for help, it is a catalyst that will draw one of the galaxy's most feared species out of the shadows, and set the stage for a confrontation that could change everything. With the Deathworlder Command Council's decision to respond to the mysterious alien SOS, preparations for fleet deployment accelerate rapidly. The galaxy watches with a mixture of apprehension and curiosity as the Deathworlders marshal their forces. Unlike other factions known for their diplomacy and political maneuvering, the Deathworlders prioritize efficiency, strength, and intimidation. Their fleet assembly is a spectacle of raw power and brutal pragmatism. The Deathworlder homeworld, a planet of harsh terrain with toxic skies and deadly predators, serves as the crucible where these warriors are forged. In this second part, the narrative zooms in on the preparations aboard the flagship Iron Maw and other dreadnought-class vessels. Each ship is armed to the teeth with heavy weapons, layered armor plating, and advanced stealth systems. The shipyards hum with activity, but there is an underlying tension. This is no routine mission. It's a test of will and might. Central to this chapter is the introduction of key Deathworlder leaders and commanders. We meet Rekta Tharn, the ruthless fleet admiral, whose reputation for relentless battlefield tactics is legendary. Vrekta's steely demeanor hides a strategic mind that sees beyond mere brute force. She understands the political implications of this mission. Alongside her is Krovan Shar, a veteran warlord known for his unyielding loyalty to the Deathworld and his brutal efficiency. Their interactions highlight the complexity within Deathworlder society. Loyalty is paramount, but internal rivalries simmer beneath the surface. Flashbacks reveal snippets of their upbringing on the Deathworld. From childhood, these warriors endured brutal trials, battling vicious native creatures, surviving hostile weather, and mastering harsh combat techniques. Their culture reveres strength and survival instincts, but also a deep code of honor that binds them tightly together. These memories explain their ferocity and why they are feared across the galaxy. Meanwhile, political tensions flare beyond the Deathworlder sphere. The Galactic Council and neighboring factions watch the fleet's assembly warily. Some suspect the Deathworlders intend to use the alien SOS as a pretext for expanding their territorial influence or to test new, devastating weapons in a real combat scenario. Diplomatic channels buzz with covert messages warning of possible subterfuge. This suspicion breeds paranoia among allies who have grudgingly accepted the Deathworlders' presence, but do not fully trust them. Several galactic powers debate sending reconnaissance missions or shadow fleets to follow the Deathworlder fleet's movements closely, fearful that their deployment could destabilize the fragile peace. Adding to the intrigue is a subplot involving espionage and sabotage within the Deathworlder fleet itself. Unseen forces aim to disrupt the mission, but their motives are unclear. Are rival factions within the Deathworld trying to undermine the command, or are external enemies infiltrating their ranks? The mystery deepens as subtle clues emerge. Communications blackout zones, missing personnel, unexplained mechanical failures. Despite these internal and external pressures, the Deathworlders push forward with cold determination. Their mobilization is a message in itself. They are willing to project power far beyond their homeworld to confront this new galactic crisis. The elite warriors train relentlessly, and warships glide out from hidden bases, converging on a predetermined jump point that will launch them toward the SOS coordinates. By the end of this part, the galaxy is on edge. The Deathworlders' fleet is ready, a shadowy force born of a brutal planet, hurtling toward an uncertain future. Allies brace for potential conflict or cooperation, while the Deathworlders prepare to reveal their true purpose. The stage is set for an explosive collision of motives, ideologies, and survival instincts. With their fleet assembled and battle-ready, the Deathworlders begin their perilous journey toward the source of the alien SOS signal. Their course takes them through one of the most hazardous regions of the galaxy, known among star navigators as dead space. This region is infamous for its unpredictable spatial anomalies, derelict war zones, and lurking threats, both natural and artificial. The passage through dead space is not merely a test of the fleet's speed, but a crucible that will challenge their discipline, leadership, and unity. As the Deathworlder warships advance into the dark expanse, the narrative highlights the oppressive and eerie atmosphere of this region. Dead space is littered with the remnants of ancient battles, ghostly hulks of warships drifting silently, their crews lost to time. Strange gravitational distortions and bursts of radiation disrupt sensors and communications. The ominous silence is occasionally broken by the sharp alarm of proximity warnings or unexpected power fluctuations. The fleet's navigators and engineers work feverishly to keep the ships on course and operational, their skills stretched to the limits. Tensions rise within the fleet as the journey prolongs. Despite their reputation for toughness, the Deathworlder crews are not immune to the psychological strain of traveling through such a hostile environment. Subtle cracks appear in the discipline as exhaustion and anxiety simmer beneath the surface. The commanding officers, including Admiral Rekta Tharn and Warlord Krovan Shar, struggle to maintain morale and order, using strict military discipline and blunt motivational tactics to keep their forces focused. Meanwhile, the fleet encounters several unexpected obstacles. One major incident involves a sudden ambush by spaceborne predators native to dead space. Gigantic biomechanical creatures adapted to the darkness and feeding on electromagnetic energy. The Deathworlders, despite their battle-hardened nature, are momentarily caught off guard but quickly rally, unleashing overwhelming firepower to repel the attackers. This encounter serves as a brutal reminder of the region's dangers and deepens the fleet's resolve, adding another layer of intrigue. Suspicions about sabotage resurface. A vital stealth cruiser suffers critical damage under mysterious circumstances, forcing an emergency docking and repairs. Investigations reveal tampered systems, but the saboteur remains elusive. The suspicion and paranoia among the ranks grow, threatening internal cohesion. Some suspect rival Deathworlder clans or external enemies might be orchestrating these attacks to weaken the fleet before it reaches the SOS origin. Throughout the journey, the fleet is also shadowed discreetly by reconnaissance vessels from various galactic factions, some allied, others hostile, keen to observe the Deathworlders' tactics and gauge their intentions. These shadow fleets keep a careful distance, wary of provoking a confrontation, but ready to intervene if necessary. The presence of these watchers adds tension to the voyage, as the Deathworlders remain vigilant against both known and unknown threats. Despite the mounting dangers, the journey also becomes a crucible for forging stronger bonds among the Deathworlder warriors. Moments of camaraderie and fierce loyalty emerge in contrast to the external threats and internal distrust. Leaders share stories of their homeworld's harsh environment, reminding crews of the survival skills and resilience that have made them a formidable force. This collective memory renews their determination to succeed. As the fleet finally approaches the coordinates of the alien SOS, the atmosphere shifts from anxious caution to tense anticipation. The Deathworlders prepare for whatever awaits, whether an ally in need, a trap, or a new enemy. The journey through dead space has tested their mettle, but the greatest challenges lie ahead. After a grueling passage through the hazardous dead space, the Deathworlder fleet finally arrives at the coordinates of the mysterious SOS. What unfolds is far beyond anyone's expectations. A devastated planet cloaked in eerie silence and ruins of a once advanced civilization, offering a haunting tableau of destruction and despair. The planet's surface, scarred by colossal explosions and deep craters, hints at a cataclysmic event that nearly obliterated the entire civilization. Massive skeletal remains of fallen starships are strewn across the orbit, while the atmosphere is thick with toxic gases and radiation. Initial scans reveal crippled communication networks, malfunctioning defense systems, and a near-complete collapse of infrastructure. The alien civilization, whose SOS triggered the galaxy-wide alarm, appears on the brink of extinction. Upon closer inspection, the Deathworlders discover that the SOS came from the last surviving enclaves of the alien race, a peaceful species known as the Elithari. Unlike the Deathworlders, the Elithari evolved on a temperate world with lush biomes and advanced technology focused on harmony and exploration rather than warfare. Their people are fragile but deeply intelligent, with an advanced understanding of science, biology, and energy manipulation. The Elithari survivors are wary of the Deathworlders' arrival. Their first contact is tense. The Elithari have heard terrifying rumors about the Deathworlders' brutal reputation. To them, these warriors seem like harbingers of further destruction rather than salvation. Yet as the Deathworlders begin providing assistance, repairing communication arrays and stabilizing key habitats, initial distrust slowly turns to cautious hope. As the Deathworlders integrate with the Elithari, a deeper mystery unfolds. The catastrophic event that led to the SOS was not a natural disaster, nor an act of simple war. Instead, it was triggered by the awakening of an ancient menace, a dormant force lurking beneath the planet's crust and in the void of space nearby. This entity is revealed to be a relic from a forgotten age, a galaxy-spanning threat that had been sealed away eons ago by unknown civilizations. Its reawakening is the true cause of the devastation and the distress call. The Deathworlders, with their experience in brutal survival and warfare, begin analyzing this threat. Their initial Cold pragmatism clashes with the Elethari's more cautious and scientific approach, but the urgency of the situation forces cooperation. Together, they uncover evidence of the entity's influence spreading rapidly, consuming energy sources and corrupting technology, threatening to engulf not only this planet, but the surrounding star systems. At the heart of this revelation lies a harsh truth. The galaxy faces a peril unlike any before. The Elethari's advanced knowledge, combined with the Deathworlders' fierce combat skills, becomes a crucial alliance. Despite their differences, both species recognize that survival depends on working together. Meanwhile, political ripples spread across the galaxy. News of the Deathworlders' involvement in the ancient menace's awakening shocks many factions. Some see it as an opportunity to ally with the powerful Deathworlders. Others fear the destabilization this alliance might cause. In this pivotal chapter, the story shifts from mystery to action readiness. The Deathworlders begin organizing defensive strategies, while the Elethari provide scientific insights into the ancient menace's nature and vulnerabilities. Both groups prepare for an inevitable confrontation, knowing that failure means annihilation on a scale unprecedented in galactic history. The SOS, once a simple plea for help, is revealed as a warning sign of a looming catastrophe. The Deathworlders' arrival has changed the stakes. Their brutal efficiency and warrior spirit might be the galaxy's best chance at survival. The chapter closes with the looming shadow of battle, alliances forged in necessity, and the chilling promise that the ancient menace is only beginning to unleash its fury. The tension that has been building since the Deathworlders first received the SOS and journeyed through dead space reaches its breaking point as the ancient menace fully awakens, threatening to consume everything in its path. This fifth part of the story marks the explosive transition from preparation and revelation to full-scale conflict, an epic battle that will test the limits of courage, strategy, and endurance. As the ancient menace's corruptive influence spreads like a dark tide, the Elethari and Deathworlders brace for an onslaught unlike any they have ever faced. The entity, a colossal biomechanical force with tentacles of dark energy and metallic limbs, emerges from beneath the planet's surface and its orbiting debris. It warps space-time itself, causing massive gravitational anomalies and disrupting weapons systems. The very fabric of reality seems to bend around it. The Deathworlder fleet immediately moves into combat formation, showcasing their brutal efficiency and battle-hardened tactics. Admiral Vrecta commands with precision, directing squadrons of dreadnoughts and assault frigates to exploit the entity's vulnerabilities. Warlord Krovenshar leads fierce boarding parties on the entity's smaller attack drones, using their savage combat skills to neutralize threats up close. The Elethari contribute with their advanced energy manipulation technology, shielding key installations, stabilizing planetary defenses, and deploying bioengineered sentinels to combat the entity's spread. Their scientists work frantically to understand the creature's biology and mechanics, searching for a way to disrupt or disable it. Despite the combined strength of Deathworlder warfare and Elethari science, the entity proves to be a devastating foe. It adapts rapidly to attacks, regenerates damaged parts, and unleashes destructive pulses that cripple fleets. Several Deathworlder warships are lost in catastrophic explosions, and the Elethari settlements suffer heavy damage. The battle feels like an unrelenting storm, testing the resolve of every soldier and civilian alike. Amid the chaos, moments of heroism and sacrifice stand out. A key Deathworlder captain, Jagravos, leads a daring assault deep into the entity's core to deploy an experimental weapon designed by the Elethari. This mission is fraught with danger, requiring cunning, strength, and precise timing. Jagras' team faces overwhelming odds but embodies the fierce determination that defines the Deathworlders. Simultaneously, internal tensions flare as old rivalries and distrust threaten to undermine unity. The sabotage plot uncovered earlier in the fleet reveals itself as the work of a shadowy faction within the Deathworld, seeking to exploit the crisis to seize power. Admiral Vrecta must not only fight the external menace, but also quell dissent within her ranks, maintaining cohesion amidst disorder. The galactic political scene remains tense as well. Nearby factions watch the battle unfold with bated breath. Some send reinforcements, recognizing the existential threat. Others maneuver diplomatically, hoping to profit from the chaos. The Deathworlders' role in the battle earns grudging respect and fear from many corners of the galaxy. As the battle reaches its climax, the combined forces of Deathworlders and Elethari manage to exploit a critical weakness discovered by the scientists, a vulnerable energy nexus deep within the entity's structure. In a final coordinated strike, Jagra Voss's team delivers the weapon payload, triggering a chain reaction that begins to dismantle the ancient menace. The entity's defeat is not without cost. The planet remains devastated, countless lives lost and the Deathworlder fleet severely depleted. But the victory sends shockwaves across the galaxy. A brutal species once viewed as merciless killers has become indispensable saviors, and an ancient threat thought buried forever has reminded everyone of the lurking dangers in the cosmos. The chapter closes on a somber yet hopeful note. Recovery and rebuilding will take time, and the Deathworlders' reputation and role in the galaxy will never be the same. The battle has reshaped alliances, perceptions, and the future. The devastating battle against the ancient menace has ended, but its echoes ripple across the galaxy, reshaping power structures, alliances, and perceptions in ways no one anticipated. Part 6 opens on a galaxy grappling with the aftermath of a conflict that was as transformative as it was brutal. The Deathworlder fleet, though victorious, returns home battle-worn and diminished. Their once-feared reputation as ruthless killers is now tempered by grudging respect and even cautious admiration from many galactic factions. The Elethari survivors, indebted and deeply changed by the Alliance, begin the slow and difficult process of rebuilding their shattered civilization. Their advanced technology and unique knowledge become key in restoring stability to the affected systems, but scars, both physical and psychological, remain. The political landscape is in flux. Many galactic powers reassess their stance on the way. Deathworlders who have proven they are not merely merciless warriors but indispensable protectors against existential threats. Secret negotiations and public overtures seek to integrate the Deathworlders more formally into galactic defense coalitions, while old rivalries attempt to capitalize on the instability for territorial or political gain. Within the Deathworlder society itself, a profound change takes root. The fleet's leadership, led by Admiral Vrekta Tharn and Warlord Krovenshar, faces growing pressure to transform their war-driven culture into a force capable of diplomacy and cooperation, without sacrificing their core values of strength and survival. The internal power struggles sparked by earlier sabotage attempts are quelled through decisive leadership, but leave lingering factions that challenge the new direction. Meanwhile, the true extent of the ancient menace's influence becomes clear. Fragments of its corruptive energy linger in space and on the Elethari homeworld, posing ongoing threats of mutation and technological collapse. Teams of scientists and warriors, Deathworlders and Elethari alike, are dispatched on dangerous missions to contain and cleanse these remnants, preventing a resurgence that could reignite catastrophe. On a broader scale, the story explores how the galaxy's various species react to the revelation of such a dormant and destructive force. Many factions ramp up their own defense capabilities, engaging in frantic research and military expansion, sparking a new era of arms races and strategic posturing. The fragile peace maintained before the SOS shatters, replaced by wary alliances and unpredictable tensions. In the midst of this upheaval, new heroes and leaders emerge. Jagra Voss, who played a pivotal role in the final strike against the menace, becomes a symbol of Deathworlder resilience and the possibility of change. She advocates for a new vision of their people's role in the galaxy, as protectors rather than mere conquerors. Her efforts inspire a generation torn between tradition and transformation. The Elethari too evolve. Their trauma from near extinction galvanizes a cultural renaissance that embraces both their peaceful heritage and the harsh realities revealed by the battle. Together with the Deathworlders, they form the foundation of a new interspecies alliance, dedicated to vigilance and mutual defense. The story concludes with a cautiously optimistic tone. The galaxy is forever changed by the Deathworlders' mobilization and the ancient menace's threat. But out of chaos arises a new order, one forged in blood, resilience, and unexpected unity. The Deathworlders' brutal response to the alien, SOS has not only shocked the galaxy, but opened a pathway toward a more uncertain yet hopeful future.